You decide whether you walk into a store, you decide whether you pick something off the shelf, and you decide whether you're going to spend money that you technically don't have. Deep down, you probably know when you're overspending. And here's the hard truth. It doesn't matter how many money-saving tips or under-consumption hack videos you watch, none of it will stick if you keep buying. So if you want real control, you have to retrain your brain. And the first thing you're going to do is practice saying no in low-stakes areas. So in other words, you have to really start thinking of self-control like a muscle. So the more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. And with that being said, to get a better handle on your spending, you have to start with the little things. And this can mean skipping that buy one, get one free item that you really don't need, or passing on a small indulgence like a $2 candy bar. Because every time that you say no, your brain learns how to resist. And from here, you come to realize that you're the one who's in control and not your impulses. And the cool part is that practicing with the small stuff actually preps you for the future. Because if you're able to keep with it, saying no to the bigger stuff will no longer feel impossible because your brain has already been trained to handle it. The second thing you have to do is verbalize your choices, and I know it sounds very simple, but it can make a huge difference. So every time that you pick up and put back an item, say to yourself, I'm choosing not to buy this. Because hearing those words will help reinforce the decision. And another cool thing about verbalizing it is that you're activating the part of your brain that controls impulses. Because so much of overspending happens on autopilot. So you see something shiny, you like it, and before you know it, you're swiping your card. But on the other hand, speaking your decisions out loud allows you to interrupt that autopilot loop. And because your brain has to process the words, this forces you to stop, pause, and really think about what you're about to do. And this works even better when you say it to someone else, so you might even think about getting an accountability partner to add an extra layer. You also have to name the enemy, because the truth is, you probably already know the stores, the websites, and the apps that suck you in. So call them out, write them down, and name them like the villains they are. Because Target, Amazon, Sephora, they are not your friends. So instead of thinking, I can't control myself in these stores, or these are always going to be my weaknesses, tell yourself, I am not letting these stores trick me, and I am smarter than that. And when you see a store or an app as a villain, it can change how you approach it. So even though you might still shop at Amazon, now you do it with a pause. And even if you still enter Target, you're now mindful and not mindless. It also helps to put a sticky note on your debit or credit card. So you'll basically write something like, do I really need this, and wrap it around your card, or you can wrap a picture of a financial goal around it. And this works because every single time that you reach for your cards, you're gonna see that note or that picture, which also forces a micro pause and reminds you that spending is a choice. In addition, before you even leave the house or open an app, take a look at your current bank balance. This is a gut check moment that a lot of people need, because if you check your balance and you get a sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach, or if you don't like what you see, that is the biggest sign that you need to put back whatever it is you're looking at. And this also makes it harder to ignore the reality of your finances. A lot of people live in delusion, but eventually things are going to come to a head, and you have to wake up and really be honest about what you're able to do and what you can't do. And if you look and don't like what you see, what you do next is really going to indicate whether you were serious about changing your habits and getting ahead. Another thing you can do is go through your closet and count how many items still have tags or packaging. Because seeing shirts, shoes, and accessories that you haven't even touched can also be a reality check. This is visual proof that you have enough, that spending isn't necessary, and you can survive without it. And finally, create a regret list and write down every dumb purchase you've made that still annoys you. And then pull it out whenever you feel the urge to spend. Because reading it before you buy is a harsh but honest reminder of what it feels like to regret your choices. And this one works emotionally because regrets tend to stick with us. So tapping into it before making a new purchase helps you pause and ask, do I really want to feel like this again? And if you have a problem coming up with a regret list, just take a look in your junk drawer or maybe the back of the closet, because half of the things that we buy and don't need or use often end up there. So go through it, open it, touch it, and even smell it, and let it remind you of what mindless spending produces, which is clutter and a lot of wasted money.